Welcome to the Butterfly Effect. I'm Chris Horner. This is stage one of Algarve, a 192 kilometer race. I'll call it 120 miles in length. And here at Algarve, we got some big time hitters. But today's stage one looks like it's a stage for the sprinters. There's only really a category 3 climb. I'll call it about the middle of the stage. When the cameras come on, we got a group of 8 riders up the road at 2.5 minutes. All the smaller teams here, the Portugal teams, are up the road. And when we go back and look at the Peloton, we got 3 teams on the front. Intermarché, EF Education's on there, and Lotto Destiny's on the front. They all got sprinters, especially Lotto Destiny got Arnaud Delis. Intermarché got Beniam Girmay. But Visma Lease Bike's in the group too, and they have Jonas Vingegaard racing for general classification, so we think. And they got Wout van Aert, who, of course, is a sprinter and wants to get shot at winning today's stage one, you would think. So with Visma Lease Bike in there, we go further back and we find Primoz Roglic. Roglic is in this group too. He's eating, everything's calm. It's a relaxed race. It's what I told you on Beyond the Coverage. That's why Primoz Roglic wanted to start here at Algarve. Keep him healthy, keep him safe, stay out of crashes. Maybe get a win here at Algarve possible too if Primoz Roglic came with some good form. Remember, Jonas Vingegaard's here, and in Jonas Vingegaard's interview, he says, well, if you can win, you can win. But he's got other guys on the team too that can win, so it's not all on him, is what he said in yesterday's interview too. So when we get further into the race, we'll see the 8 riders. One guy attacks up the road. We see that rider, it's Salguero up there attacking from AP Hotels. He's going solo, 7 riders behind, can't close the gap on the one as he starts taking the sprint points competition with about 30 kilometers to go. The Peloton was being led by those 3 teams the whole time throughout the stage, and they're still on the front, but they're going to wrap everybody up with about 25 kilometers to go. Once they wrap everyone up, Bora Hansgrohe are making it clear that they're here to play with Primoz Roglic because they're flying up the left side of the road. Primoz Roglic is on the train. They got Jordi Mayus here that surely wants to go for the sprint too. So things are getting nervous finally. Back to film up, it was calm all day long. Now we go back into live action again, it slows back down. Primoz Roglic, Bora Hansgrohe team got it all nervous, but then there must have been some calming of the pace up there in the Peloton because they started going wide. Visma Lease Bike's at the front, Bora Hansgrohe's at the front, Ineos is at the front, sprinter teams are at the front, but nobody's pushing hard. There's no shoulder banging, there's guys drinking water bottles, they're going a smooth pace, it's all calm and relaxed. Stays that way at 15 kilometers to go, 10 kilometers to go, stays that way, 5 kilometers to go, it's still going pretty calm. 4.5 kilometers to go, and we see Visma Lease Bike, they're not even at the front. Wout van Aert's near the front. He's got one other teammate. I'll take a guess and call it T. Spanut. That's up there that's giving him a hand. Now, Jonas Vingegaard's not even in the picture, not even up front. If I bring you back for a second time to his interview yesterday, he said he'd love to help out his teammates when he can, but remember, he is racing for general classification here. Well, he is, but this is also Algarve, so you could do a little bit of work with 3.5 kilometers to go for Wout van Aert, who's still at the front all by himself. Like I said, one teammate's in and around, but he's got no team lead out up there versus Bora Hansgrohe's Primoz Roglic and his sprinter Jordi Mayus have help all over the place. Now, we come in at 3.5 kilometers to go. Now the race match gets lit, and we see Pseudo Quickstep on the front. I'm not exactly who they're sprinting for, but they're all over the front at the moment, and they're drilling it, making it fast. They're only going to stay on the front for a few hundred meters. Then it's kind of chaos again, and we start coming into about 2.5 kilometers to go, and there's no control at the front, but it's surely full racing. Wout van Aert, if I back the film up just a hair, as he's in the middle of the bunch, he's in about 7th, 8th position from the front anyways in terms of rows, and just behind him, guys are bumping all over the place, so you know it's nervous at this moment on stage 1 of Algarve. Now, we go up to about 2 kilometers to go, and we'll look over at Bora Hansgrohe. Don't know which rider this is. The cameras aren't very clear, but he's going up the left side because he's got Arnaud Delis, the Belgium champion, in front of him who's moving up the left side too. We'll see the Bora Hansgrohe rider look over his shoulder to make sure he has Jordi Mayus there. He does, so he follows Arnaud Delis up the left side of the Peloton. Arnaud Delis stops off at about 7th position, and we'll see the Bora Hansgrohe rider continue to go to the front, but Jordi Mayus backs off his wheel, and he's sitting right around Arnaud Delis' position. Okay, Bora Hansgrohe rider goes to the front, takes a look back over his shoulder. He's happy with what he sees, so he stays on the front. And we go into this difficult roundabout. They're going to enter it as a right, then immediate left, and then it's going to be a long left bend with another left exit out right. As Bora Hansgrohe rider exits out right, he looks right over his shoulder to see where his sprinter is. Now, he must not like what he sees, so he looks back left over his shoulder again, looks a second time left, looks a third time left, and now we're coming over the Flamme Rouge. It's 1 kilometer to go, and you know right now it should be full gas. So Bora Hansgrohe's rider's got his head down. Now we start seeing the camera from the front as we see the motorcycle camera pull all the way over from the left side of the road. As the Bora Hansgrohe rider stayed all the way on the right side of the road, the motorcycle from the left is moving right. He's jetting close over in front of the peloton. And then we're going to see in the flaggers there, the guy in the red jacket there, he's waving to the guys, you got to start going left, you got to start going left. Bora Hansgrohe rider's done though. Now it's time for Jared Drisner's Lotto Destiny. He takes over the front, he stays right. Once he stays right, all of a sudden as he's coming out, Jared Drisner realizes as he puts his hand like, I don't know what just happened. Well, as he's going, I don't know what's just happened, Two-Door Cycling starts taking over the front on the right side of the road with the fencing in the middle. Fans are looking over to the right side of the road, some fans are looking to the left, and Two-Door Cycling's throwing down on the right side of the road. As we see, it's a two race happening here on stage one. On the left side of the road, it's Filippo Ganna, Team Ineos. He's flying up the left side of the road, and on the right side of the road, Two-Door Cycling is drilling it. The cameras are focused there on Filippo Ganna. We'll see him adjust his radio just a little bit, but he's got a gap on everyone behind him with the FDJ riders and UAE Team Emirates trying to close the gap. But Filippo Ganna's going full gas. As he adjusts his radio, he jumps up out of his saddle and starts sprinting. Then the camera from behind the finish line moves back over and watches the race on the right side of the road as we see Jordi Mayus wins what he believes is a sprint on the right side of the road. But then the cameras move back to the left side of the road and we see Filippo Ganna sitting up and celebrating as he crosses the real line here on stage one. He's got a gap, and the riders behind him is going to be Roman Gregor and Jan Christian from UAE Team Emirates. That's first, second, and third. What you want to call on the right side of the road, I don't know. It was exciting. The commentators calling it live, they thought there was a race on the right side of the road, but Robbie McEwen, who was also calling it live, same commentator there because they had two, he's calling the left side of the road because he knows Filippo Ganna went the right way. Now, if I back the film all the way up and I see show you what happened, how Filippo Ganna won today's stage, well, look just as they're coming under the Flamme Rouge. After that, we see when Jordi Mayus' head was about going down there, it's Filippo Ganna all the way on the right side of the road. Somehow, the Italian rider for Team Ineos knew that that was the wrong way to go, probably because he's done this race a couple times. So he finds his way out from the right all the way to the left. As the sprinters all keep going right, he goes to the left and he punches it up the left side. And I already told you how that story ended. He won today's stage. But when we start detailing it a little bit more, when we start looking at how dangerous and how chaotic it was, when I show you that Jordi Mayus, as he's sprinting down the right side where fans are jumping out of the way all over, I'll back it up just a little bit before when Two-Door Cycling was on the front. And we look at the car in front of the Two-Door Cycling pulling off to the left side of the road as they're starting their sprint, just missing the back bumper on a course that's really not a course for the race. This is where all the cars are supposed to park and the spectators are walking all over the place. Well, the sprinters, even though they should have known this is the wrong side, they still wouldn't shut it down. And we see Jordi Mayus, if you look just in front of him, there's one lady wearing the red jacket there and she's pushing the baby stroller who just barely got across the curb as Jordi Mayus was hoping he won today's stage, but realistically it went over to Filippo Ganna. So we thought anyways. Later, when you look at the official results, it looks like they annulled the stage, but gave the race leader's jersey to Filippo Ganna to start tomorrow's stage two. Now, what would I have done? Well, I'd have given the stage to Filippo Ganna, and when you look at the interview afterwards, they're asking him about the stage and what he thinks, and he says, well, it's nice to be back. Then they ask him about tomorrow's Mountaintop Summit finish, and he reminds everyone that 3 years ago in 2023, that he actually went pretty good up this climb and finished with the front group. So I looked up his results. He finished 20th, lost about 7 seconds. But he didn't have Jonas Vingegaard Visma Lease bikes, and he didn't have Bora Hansgrohe here to drill it up the beginning of the climb. Look at Bora Hansgrohe's team. They don't look stacked with a lot of depth to drill it too much up the last climb in tomorrow's stage. But at the moment right now, Filippo Ganna still has the race leader's jersey, I guess. I don't know what really happened. All I know is Filippo Ganna knew where he was going, and nobody else did. But it was an exciting race watching two sprints going down the right side of the road and the left side of the road. And the fans, when you look at them, they're looking both directions trying to figure out what's happening. Afterwards, when the riders that sprinted to a line that didn't exist on the right side, we see them jumping back over the fence because officially all the riders have to cross the finish line in order to get same time. So that's why you see all the chaos afterwards with all the riders throwing their bike over the fence to come across the line. So stage one, I don't know, but it looks like Filippo Ganna's wearing the race leader's jersey, and it certainly looks like somebody's a knucklehead. But realistically, when I compare the course to last year, it looks like it's the exact same course, exact same way that they finished, and the kilometer banner's in the exact same place. So the only thing I can put it down to is as they came out of that super difficult kind of a roundabout, that right, left, left, right exit, when we see the Bora Hansgrohe rider on the front, Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe, excuse me, Red Bull, as we see him on the front, he's looking back over his shoulder right, and then he looks left 3 times, and then he puts his head down, so he doesn't know where he's going. Everybody else was following Bora Hansgrohe, and they didn't know that he didn't know where he's going because his head was looking backwards or down the whole time. That's all I can put it down to. Hope you guys like my take today for Algarve Stage 1. Tomorrow should be a good finish here between Primoz Roglic and Jonas Vingegaard battling out. Jonas Vingegaard said in yesterday's interview he'd love to help out his teammates, but he's racing for GC2. Today, he was holding back, and Primoz Roglic certainly wasn't. He was always in the right place, up front, racing aggressively, while Jonas Vingegaard was trying to stay safe. Will he race tomorrow full 100%? Well, they didn't help out Wout van Aert on today's stage, so that tells me if we look at his interview yesterday that he's racing for GC, right? So we should have a fantastic battle on tomorrow's stage 2. If not, it'll probably be the organizer's fault. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys for stage 2, the butterfly effect, real soon.